KISS 2025, Social Innovation Living Lab, Connect, Collaborate, Creative and Changescape. We have a session this morning with Yang Berbahagia Dato' Luri Liu, founder of Luri Bespoke, as well as our moderator, T.S. Adam Ramsky, Senior Manager of Group CEO's Office, Cradle Fund Sendirian Berhad. The topic will be from boardroom to social room, when policy meets the ground through social innovation implementation. We'd like everyone to fill up the seats in this hall. Diminta para hadirin sekalian untuk mengambil tempat masing-masing di Dewan ini for the first session of Day 2 on Designing Beyond Borders, How Malaysian Innovation Walks the World. All right, once again, we'd like to invite our guests, if they are within this hall, to come into this hall for our first session of Day 2 of our Social Innovation Convention, KISS 2025. So the first speaker is the founder of Luri Bespoke, Yang Berbahagia Dato' Luri Liu, and moderated by T.S. Adam Ramsky. The topic is on from boardroom to social room, when policy meets the ground through social innovation implementation. All right, in a few minutes, ladies and gentlemen, for Day 2 of KISS 2025, we will start off with a topic very interesting this morning with a very popular icon, and Dato' Luri Liu, the founder of Luri Bespoke. He's founder and principal designer of Luri Bespoke, a handcrafted luxury footwear brand which he established long time ago in 1997. So the topic this morning is from boardroom to social room, when policy meets the ground through social innovation implementation. Some of the insights this morning is into how government policies can be translated into actionable measures that benefit communities, understanding the role of local technology and innovation in addressing community issues, and awareness of the real challenges in policy implementation at the grassroots level and approaches to overcome them. First-hand experiences from leaders who have successfully executed inclusive and high-impact policies. So this morning, our first session in another couple of minutes will be on from boardroom to social room, when policy meets the ground through social innovation implementation. All right, a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for our speaker, Dato' Luri Liu, founder of Luri Bespoke, as well as our moderator, T.S. Adam Ramsky, Senior Manager, Group CEO's Office, Cradle Fund, Sendirian Berhad. So we've got a very professional team right up on stage. Over to you, Adam. Dato.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. A very good morning, everyone. Salam sejahtera, salam Malaysia Madani. With here, we have Datuk Luray Liu, founder of Luray Bespoke, with me today. And Datuk, you've managed to expand your business globally. There's a lot of markets that you've entered. You've done shoes. You've made shoes for quite a number of celebrities. And kita dekat sini nak tahulah, Datuk, how you started, what's your background, Datuk orang mana, and those kind of things. Datuk, maybe you can share a little bit about yourself, Datuk.
A very good morning, everyone. Thank you very much, Adam, and thank you first of all for inviting me for the very early morning, 9 o'clock. So I hope everyone have a good morning. Selamat pagi. Yeah, dah makan belum? Dah kopi belum? Okay. First of all, where I come from? Yeah, I came from a 15 brother and sister sibling family in the 50s. I dari Perak. Anyone Perak? Satu saja, seorang saja. I'm from Tapa actually, Perak. You know Cameron Highland? Yeah, the small little town in Tapa Road, yeah? So I went for rubber tapping pada umur 8. Anyone heard of menoleh kedah? Or your parents perhaps, or your grandparents perhaps, But that's my era. By the way, I'm 20, yeah? Why you gelak, yeah? I'm a real 20, do you know that? Let's not make it so serious in the morning, right? Yeah, I'm 20, but I'm a true 20. Anyone can guess me why I'm true 20? Can you move your left hand up and see what you see? What do you see? A 5-finger gun? Okay, why 5 finger in the first place? Have you ever thought 5? And also why up and down? Anyone's fingers is flat? No one, right? It's up and down, right? But why up and down? Have you ever asked? Yes, that's very true. This is our life. Do you know what I'm trying to say? This is our life. The first 10 years, look at our first 10 years, shotgun. Our 20th shoot like a bamboo, right? When we reach 30, we are at the peak of our life. When we reach 40, mata have to wear this one already. Anyone reach 40? 50 turun sikit saja, tak apa. But what about next one? No, God create us a second one. Now, let's do it together now, please. I want you to see yourself. This is our life. Don't you think so? This is actually our life. We have mid-life crisis. 50, 60, sampai, then you see yourself in a midlife crisis. But when you reach another one, you are going up. You have another one going up again. So I'm 20 now. Now you will see me. I'm the second part of 20. I'm 70, by the way. Come on. Isn't it that's life? So we are actually at the top when we reach 80. Kalau we jaga our badan, our body, our whatever, so whatever. Okay? Sorry, I want to make everyone realize this is actually our life. You look at when we go to Apani, check our blood or whatever, you see our craft is actually like that. Never be like that. Even our share market is like that, right? So it's up and down. What I'm trying to say, my life is about up and down. I started very poor of 15 brothers and sisters. Pergi menoleh kita pada umur 8. I have to wake up 3-4 a.m. Now that's actually a long story back then. Now the question today is talking about how Malaysian innovation, whatever, crush can move beyond Malaysia. Now it's never a simple or easy journey. Now I must thank Matrade. When I started my company in 1987 as a shoe trading company, anyone know what's trading? Buy, sell, sell. You know, beli dari somebody and sell to somebody. So this is called from one pawn to another pawn. This is our trading. So from trading, we move on into export, OEM. OEM, which means original equipment manufacturing. So I have been actually doing for 10 years, since 1987 to 1997, for OEM. I've been designing for many, many companies around the world. But again, the journey is never easy. Let me go through the journey of 1991 when I was called by Matrade. You are chosen to be one of the representatives to represent Malaysia in the largest shoe exhibition in the world, in Düsseldorf. Anyone know Düsseldorf? Germany, Düsseldorf? It's a small little town, but very fashionable town. So we traveled 20 hours to reach there. But then, for 3 years, 1991, 92, 93, no one company. The first year was 19 company, Adam. I was the youngest and the least success. I was the youngest. I was in the early 30s. 1991. Anyone were born? 1991, yeah.
Dato', 3 years. Sorry, Dato'. 3 years. How much sales you made, Dato', going to Düsseldorf?
No, I told you already, 19 company, inclusive myself. No one got any sales. You know why? Sorry, anyone from tourism ministry? No, then I can tell a bit of story. Huh? We were given this brochure, this long, A4 size divided by 2. The brochure was a very tall tree. On top, there's a tree, there's a house, and by the side, orangutan. So we were given all this brochure to every visitor in Düsseldorf. Happily went there for 20 hours. What do you think if you are a visitor, you receive this brochure? Anyone? Very bad impression, wrong positioning kan. Welcome, Dato' Yusuf. Very glad to see you. So, we were given this brochure to give away as an introductory of Malaysia. So, customer will look at the brochure and say, and look at it and smile towards us. So, do you play with monkey every day? These are all true facts. Yeah? These are all true facts. And you live on the tree? 1991, 92, 93, for 3 years we were given this brochure. So I came back, I talked to the then minister, MITI Minister, Rafida Aziz. I said, please talk to Tourism Board, do not give away this brochure anymore. But now you see Malaysia truly Asia. Now you see lah. But this all the hard work we give a lot of inputs and feedback. It's a wrong branding. It's a wrong positioning, like Puan say. It's actually wrong. For 3 years, no one company from 19 company first year, 17 company, and 14 company in 1993. No one continued to go 1994. One company continued to go. Sitting here today. 1994. Alone and without Matrix support. Matrix said no more, no more, no more, because no one get any sales. 1994 I went, 1995 I went, but 1994 is a breakthrough.
Okay.
I got 2 orders.
Oh, wow. So that is the turning point, I assume.
Yes, it's a very, very important turning point. After 3 years, the 4th year I went alone. The 4th year I went alone. I got 2 orders, one from Japan. Second one is Lebanon. Anyone heard about Lebanon? Yes, I got the orders. I was so happy. Although it's a very 1,200 pairs aja. A small order, but it's a breakthrough. 1995, I continued to win. I met one famous Malaysian called JC, Jimmy Choo. We became friends. 1996, I went. 97, I continued to go. 1997, you know something happened in Malaysia, right? Economic downturn. So suddenly, 1998, a lot more companies continue to go to the fair again after a 5-6 years gap. What I'm trying to say is the perseverance. Never easy. It's very, very tough. I think I don't want to further elaborate too much. Otherwise, it will take too much of your time. Yeah, Adam. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Dato'. So quite an interesting, very interesting journey. You've somehow rather, persevered. Went to Dusseldorf, managed to generate international sales, made friends with Jimmy Choo as well. And I'm pretty sure from that on, you managed to develop and grow your company, Luray Bespoke. And yes, Dato', how did you manage to, grow your company to where it is today? Is it with the support of the government? Is it through connections that you have? Or the international market actually took notice of the designs and innovation that you brought into the market?
Now, first of all, the journey of breaking through international market never come easy, as I already mentioned. The perseverance has to be there. And of course, alongside, in the 90s, early 90s, can you imagine, there's no Google, no internet, that's called K economy. Anyone still remember what is K economy? Yes, knowledge economy. You have to get a lot of knowledge by seeing yourself, touching yourself. So you have to go there. I was very happy. I was very young. I was nothing to lose. Compared to the 19 company, I was the youngest and least experienced, least successful. So I traveled around Europe. I went to Paris, Italy, I went to London after the Düsseldorf, happily. Although 0 sales for 3 years. But again, a lot of K, knowledge. I learned a lot of trade, a lot of fashion. What is fashion in Europe? What is in Italy? What is in UK? Before, compared the year we went to Düsseldorf, without knowing them. I don't understand them. I thought I'd do something fantastic as a Malaysian. But they don't like what we give. Something like that, right? So knowing them is very important. So, of course, alongside when you start breaking through international business, they are actually passing on to you a lot of technology transfer. They request what you can do, what they want to do, you learn from them. So these are the period. I think it took me about almost 10 years to learn from them, to continue communicating with them, understand them. Of course, at the same time, buy a lot of technology from them. In terms of machinery, in terms of technique, shoemaking from Japan. They sent the whole team to my factory in Malaysia. I learned from them. What primer do you use? What their requirement is very high standard. German or Europe or Japan, they have different kind of requirement. So we learn from them over the years. These are all the things we have to go through.
Okay, thank you, Dato'. Dato', actually I've been wanting to ask you this, Dato'.
Yeah.
Your shoes are being worn by Kate Middleton, by our our former Permaisuri Agong and so on and so forth. How did you do it, Dato'?
People only see the brighter side of the world, right? So today we are talking about how to achieve that. I think that's more important.
Yes.
Right?
Towards that, how do we, get to that, Dato'?
So branding is something like people don't see. Yeah? As I say, before Kate Middleton approached, not Kate Middleton. Coming back to Kate Middleton, that was the year 2012. Malaysia, that was actually the 60 years of anniversary of Commonwealth. So Kate Middleton and Prince William visited Malaysia, representing Queen Elizabeth. Yeah, that was the year. British Chamber of Commerce of Malaysia request, I think, a few designers to make baju and also shoe. I was actually quite lucky, the only shoe designer they request to make a few pair of shoes for her. But unfortunately, no one will be able to give her because of security reason. But I was, again, very lucky in the sense that I told the then Permaisuri, Keda, remember? I told her, my shoe is ready, my bag is ready, but I'm unable to give to Kate Middleton. So she said, never mind, pass to me, I will make it into a national gift. So you can Google Kate Middleton. There are four gifts given to Kate Middleton when she visited to Malaysia. One of them is actually Luray shoe, Luray bespoke, and the matching bag. Yeah. Now, what I want to share to you before Kate Middleton, that is more important. Yeah. I have done, as I say, 10 years for trading, OEM, export. Finally, in 1997, I decided I don't want to continue making shoes for others. Do you remember, I don't know whether you Google me, I've also designed for, Spice Girl.
Wow,
Yes.
Spice Girls.
I designed for Spice Girl, but under another brand. Nobody knows me. I found out I designed for so many beautiful people, royalties under my collection, but not under my brand. And they squeeze your price until you were no more blood, something like that, So these are the things that why I evolved from OEM to OBM. OBM is original brand manufacturing. What you see now, Luray Bespoke, Luray is actually OBM. So original brand manufacturing. So just now, Adam, you asked me why permaisuri, why Kate Middleton actually knocked your door. I also designed for Siti Nurhaliza's wedding shoe, by the way. She came to me. She came to the booth and asked, can you design my wedding shoe? So what I'm trying to say is, if you doesn't present yourself, you doesn't position yourself that level, if you say, I'm making shoe, I'm making very cheap shoe, do you think Kate Middleton want to buy your shoe?
Oh, of course not.
Or take your shoe, or apa ni? Siti Nurhaliza will knock your door making my wedding shoe? No. So branding, first of all, is positioning. Where you want to target, how you want to sell, who do you want to associate, what is the audience that you want. So these are the things that, first thing is very important. Just like the brochure, the what do you call, tourism brochure, a tall tree with a house on top and a orangutan. That is positioning. That is positioning that we are in a very natural era, beautiful country with nature. I think it's wrong or not wrong, I don't want to comment here. But then the positioning is very important. Compared to in the 1991-94 brochure to current Malaysia, truly Asia. What's the difference? So you see the difference, right? Adam, what do you think?
It's a whole different kind of, vibe, I would say. And now it's what we have to offer to the world. Yeah.
Yeah, coming back again, I have been doing a lot of Fashion Week, in London Fashion Week. I travel twice a year to London Fashion Week. I travel 4 times to Europe, at least 4 to 6 times. And I travel 7, 8 months in a year outside Malaysia. This is to get knowledge. This is to get a lot of expertise, advice, what is new in the market. Go expose yourself, go export yourself, go see what people are doing. This I have been doing over the last 30 years. So there's no shortcut, Adam. Of course, what I produce now is actually very international in terms of the quality, in terms of the requirement from the Japan, from the European requirement, whether this method, when you touch the skin, you have nickel-free or not, whether your heel breakable or not, how many times you broke, things like that. These are all the standards you have to require, you have to go through before you can even talk to export to Europe or Japan. Or again, without this kind of positioning, without this kind of exposure, you think Kate Middleton and British Chamber of Commerce will knock your door? No, who do you associate with?
Yes.
You understand or not? All right. Before we talk about the beauty of Malaysian, the quality of the innovations of Malaysia, I think these are the basic things we have to go through first. Learn as soon as possible, as much as possible you can do it.
Yes, thank you, Dato'. Very insightful. So branding, positioning is the key towards making Malaysian brands, a global brand. So, Dato', now you've had your shoes designs worn by Spice Girls, Kate Middleton, Siti Nurhaliza, and you're there, Dato'. So here's the thing. Right now, what are your plans when it comes to innovation? How are you planning to incorporate what's the latest technology in your shoes? And now with Yayasan Inovasi Malaysia here, Yayasan Inovasi Malaysia is an agency under the Ministry of Science, Technology and Innovation. So, what's in your plans, Dato'?
Okay, today I'm very, very glad to sit here to share a little bit of, but I cannot reveal too much. I think, Dato' Yusof, can I review a little bit here and there? Sikit saja lah. By the way, when I reach 10, 60 lah. Remember? 50, another 50 kan.
Uh,
So when I turned 60 here, I asked myself, I have been in shoe at the time almost 30 years. I asked myself, do I want to continue making shoe? Although I have a lot of story, I have a lot of concept, every collection, beautiful, London Fashion Week, Paris Fashion Week, Singapore Fashion Week, Bangkok Fashion Week. Yeah, I went through all this kind of thing. But I asked myself, do I want to continue making the same fashion-related things like that? Only. So one day, I came back from traveling. I met one guy from the TV saja. You know Jack Ma? Anyone know Jack Ma? No Jack Ma, right? 10 years ago, I'm talking about 10 years ago. Huh? He said from the TV I read, the future is
AI.
IoT. Belum AI. IoT. Anyone knows what's IoT?
Internet of Things.
Yes, Internet of Things. But then, that was 10 years ago. I asked myself, wow, what is IoT? Internet of Things. What can IoT can... How can I use IoT in my shoe? I was 60. So I came back. I talked to my very young boy of 15, my son. He said, Dad is going to do something interesting using IoT. What is IoT in short? Collecting data. Collecting data through internet, real time. So I asked myself then, how can I collecting data from a pair of shoes from any individual who comes here? I be able to capture the data real time. I be able to improve their walking pattern. Anyone like the idea or not? I think I better stand up to share a little bit of why I do that. So, when I turned 55, I was actually having leg problem. Welcome, good morning. Yeah. All right. Can I repeat again? When I turned 60, I asked myself, do I want to do the same old thing, traveling around the world, making beautiful shoes only? So I decided after learning IoT is the future. A great man called Jack Ma said, IoT is the future. So I started to think, can I evolve a pair of shoes become a health-related, wellness-related data collections that I can improve them? Any individual? You like the idea? Any researcher? Any scientist? So you don't need to be a scientist or researcher to do that. I'm a fashion designer. So I told myself, I study what I'm trying to talk about. See, when a person reaches 60 or 70, normally how do they walk? They walk this way. Do you realize some people walk like that? No? This is called bonation. This is called supination. You see people walk like that? No? You see people walk like that? No? Again. This is called supination because of the osteoporosis process. The bone become weaker. But if IoT able to provide this data real time so that you can improve humans' feet back to this position at the age of 70, 80, 90, without going into operation, without going to operation, you see, 70, 80, you can still stand like that. You like it or not? Yeah, this is possible to do it. So, this is what I am doing now, Adam, until now, the technology yet to be revealed, but we are moving into the second and third stage. We hope to get things as soon as possible. So I don't want to reveal too much, but it's a technology where using AI and IoT when I was 60 years old. But I hope to get it done soon as possible within the next 24 months. Yeah.
Okay, so I can't wait to see that technology in the market. Then, I'm pretty sure it's going to be a life changer. If you're 60, 70, 80 and you're having the technology in the pair of shoes that, day in, day out, and hopefully through that technology, it improves the quality of your life, I think that's something of a breakthrough.
At least I hope to see humans fit without doing all this kind of operation, at least for more than 15, 20 years. So when you reach 18, 90, you don't need to go for operation. You don't need to have a wheelchair. You still can travel around the world without having pain here and there. I think this is something very important. Yeah. And also preventions of fall in the future. Yeah.
Okay, Dato', we've spoken about technology right now. So I've also been made to understand that you also look into sustainability as well. And I know sustainability is something that a lot of people are talking about. It's something that the world needs. There's a lot of products out there that are already catered to the ESG agenda. So in Luray, Bespoke, what are the things that you're working on with regards to sustainability?
Yeah, thank you for raising this question. Yeah, this is in my heart since last year. So a lot, as you say, Adam, many people talking about ESG, many people talking about sustainability. So I told my partner, let's do something about it, not just talk about it. Talking is nothing, right? Netto, you say, huh? So last year, 1st of November, there was almost 12 months, we launched KL Green Fashion. Can you guess, anyone, my jacket here, you can see, there's actually a KL Green Fashion jacket. This fabric I use is totally sustainable from oyster shell and plastic bottle. And also the shoe I made, but today I'm not wearing that. I'm using oil palm trunk. Do you know Malaysia have a lot of oil palm? Do you know how many pokok been cut down every year for replantation? Just a guess. Adam, just a guess.
10,000 tons.
How many pokok?
Oh, how many pokok? About
1 million. How many more? There are 30 million pokok cut down every year. 30 million tree pokok. So what do they do with the pokok? They burn. Because the oil palm trunk is fibrous, become watery, tak boleh pakai punya. So through technology, Adam, we managed to save the oil palm trunk, able to use tabletop, furniture, door, as well as kasut. Terompa, Malaysia. Come to my showroom, I show you what I am using oil palm trunk to make. And I even make beautiful, not toys, but gifts, corporate gifts. Yes. I am going to have a lot more collection by next year. I hope, you can come to my showroom, you see a lot more, So this is something which I think, these are the two things very important, ladies and gentlemen, audiences. AI has been talking so much. IoT, AI is very much. Another thing is sustainability, green fashion, ESG. So these are the two areas we can focus. Definitely the next 10, even 20 years will be the most important thing in your life, in your business, you can tap into. So this is what I actually going to do. I hope God give me how much life, I don't know, how much year, I don't know, but I want to do something with purpose. Something which really can do something meaningful. I think this is what I want to do, yeah.
Okay, thank you, Dato. So, I've been seeing some of the products that our entrepreneurs are selling, Solocus selling some eco bags and infusion herbal teas, selling all these fantastic teas I see over there. Curry turmeric teas and all I saw over there. And then Natural Dye Products is a company that sells these tie-dye t-shirts and all. And out there I see quite a number of products made by Malaysians. Dato, these are all aspiring entrepreneurs. They see you as an idol, someone who's already made it, Dato. And if you can advise them, give some guidance with their products, what is one or two things they should focus on to bring their product to the next level?
Well, I'm sharing my experience. Never give up. Perseverance is important. It has to be very patient. I fail many times. A lot more than you, I think. So never give up. Because when you fail, you learn something. When you fail, you learn something. Remember why I want to say why 5 finger, why 5, and why up and down? Because this is our life. Up and down is our life. Never be proud when you are up. Never give up when you are down. The moment down, you are going up. The moment up, you have to be careful you are going down. Anyone's life only go up? Anyone's life only go down? No. There is up and down. So this is what I'm trying to say. I'm not really trying to show you your finger. It's the principle of life of up and down. So another thing I think I want to share is not how old are you, neither how young are you. It's how new are you. Ask yourself, how new are you? So next time, don't ask your friend, how old are you? How new are you? The newness not only sini saja, badan juga. Because badan kalau tak boleh jalan, cannot move, how new sini pun tak doesn't balance. It has to be balanced. Sorry, I hope that gives you a little bit of what I thought. Life has to be persevere, has to be patient, and at all time, newness within yourself.
Okay, so before we wrap up and everything else, any questions from the floor for Dato' Lure? Any questions? Going once? Going twice? Oh yes, there are 2 questions. Let's start off with Puan Karen first.
Test. Morning, Dato. Really amazing to hear of your journey. Dusseldorf is really a small town. So that is the start for your life where Liori Bespoke is concerned. What I actually want to ask is, sustainable goods tend to be expensive. Maybe in your research or in your development of something bespoke, would be great if you could try to make it affordable for the normal people. Then I probably would be able to own one. Thank you.
Thank you for the question. Yes, I think it's all about the beginning stage. You doesn't achieve the economic of scale, things will become more expensive. And I believe over time, if everyone here talking about, not talking, using and apply ESG, sustainable material, the volume will overcome the non-sustainable and it becomes cheaper. This was the first question I asked my supplier. I cannot afford to pay too expensive. Yes, I'm going to give you 20% more for the innovation, for the work, hard work, to change from a plastic bottle to become fabric. Yes, but I think I see the changes already. I saw the number improve, and I hope very soon the price will be not cheaper, but won't be too much away. Yep. Let's work together. Everyone, please embark on ESG, sustainable in your lifestyle. Thank you.
Okay, we have another question earlier from the lady in the back.
Hi, good morning, Dato'. So inspired by you, my question is how to go global? Like, you work with many international celebrities. Just want to learn, how did you do it? Thank you.
I think I was sharing how do you position and build your brand. I think it's important you build a brand, you make yourself a name, people will recognize you. If you do not, you continue, as I say, I start from just a supply, what you call a trading house. I sell to Spice Girl. I know Spice Girl is dancing with my shoe, but not under my brand. If I continue selling all the big name, not under my brand, people will not recognize me, right? Likewise. So you have to build your brand. You have to. I would like to share the 4B I always apply in my life in building a brand. Remember this 4B? The first one is you have to really, really believe yourself. First B. If you don't believe yourself, siapa akan believe you? Betul tak? Your family have to believe you. Your children have to believe you. Your colleagues have to believe you. The entire company have to believe you. But make sure your belief works. Number 2, second B, anyone guess? You have to be bold. You have to be very bold. I think I consider quite bold. For 3 years, kosong, Adam. The 4th year, I continue to go 20 hours in Düsseldorf. If without bonus, the energy gone. I think the bonus is very important. And Masali, all 6 foot, 7 foot punya. I'm just a 5-footer. The bonus, again, you must believe you are better than them. Can you do that? You have to believe and you have to be bold. Number 3B, anyone guess? Have you heard about blue ocean or not? Yeah. What is blue ocean? Go back and study, go and Google, find out what is blue ocean. Under the ocean, deep in the ocean, nobody go there. Only people see on the top, surface, noticeable, but underneath, nobody see. Just like the success of everyone, behind it, nobody see. They only see that, wow, you are working with Spice Girl, yeah? It's the same. So, the blue ocean. Do someone belum buat. Dare to be different. Betul tak? Malaysians are all very good one. I tell you, Malaysians are never short of innovation. We are in a multicultural, multinational country. We therefore have a lot of idea. Number 4, be branded. If you are branded, you are wanted. Very simple. Betul tak? Now you say Jimmy Choo. Wow. Jimmy, I think there are millions of Jimmy around now. But why Jimmy Choo? Because he is branded. Betul tak? So the 4B, remember or not? Number 1, believe. You have to believe yourself. Number 2, bold. From today, bold. Yeah, believe yourself and be bold. I'm not asking you to be very snobbish, bukan. Be bold. Do something with boldness. And number 3, blue ocean. And you will be branded. I hope I give you a little bit of answer of how to make people notice you and knock your door and make their shoe. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dato'. We have time for one more question. Yes, the gentleman in the back.
Good morning, Dato'.
Good morning.
So, I love how you emphasize on branding and positioning, especially in leveraging not only the price of the product, but the brand image itself. My question is, I just want to hear your take, especially coming from a different industry. What's your take on that 2 elements in the FMCG industry where we know that the price needs to be cheap and the products need to fly off the shelf? Thank you.
Will you tell your customer, my product is cheap? Never, right? Then why you want to sell cheap? You see, all the branded, we are talking about branded, right? Branded product. Will branded product say, this is so good quality? Do they need to say that? LV will say, hey, my shoe is very quality or not? LV. No need, right? Gucci? No need, right? Starbucks, they never say my coffee is very quality. No need, really. It's already accepted, really. But you have to continue. Bukan saja quality, bukan saja product. You have to have more than this. You have good emotion. You have to have a lot more storytelling, a lot more beyond products. Product is just one of it only. You are having a lot of collaboration, a lot of marketing, a lot of branding, a lot of exposure with a lot of more KOLs, for example, using your product. These are all the things that you have to. Product is just a product. If you focus only product, you will focus very much on competition. And once you drop into the competition, you will go into the price war. The moment price war will never end. Today 1 ringgit, tomorrow 90 cents, tomorrow 80 cents. Never end. Never end. Again, coming back, the positioning, number 1, very important. The rest is the 4B. You have to work on the 4Bs. Otherwise, you fall into the circle of product, price, competition. Because you are not doing the innovative marketing, innovative packaging, innovative exposition, and positioning dengan siapa. These are all the things you have to look into it. Then you see yourself stand up again, different again. or positioning differently compared to your competition, your competitors. I hope I give you a little bit of insight on that. All right? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dato. Before we end our session, Dato, in one sentence, summarize your advice to all these aspiring entrepreneurs, all these social innovators, and our audience here. One sentence, Dato.
Be patient.
Passion is key. Thank you very much, Dato, for taking the time to be here today, for sharing your journey, sharing your wisdom, and to show all of us that, Malaysians can be successful, can make it in the global economy. Once again, thank you, Dato.
Thank you very,
Thank you,
very
everyone.
much. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
By the way, whoever want to know a little bit more sustainable material or how we go about, we can actually come forward to talk to me. Yeah. Thank you.
Right,
Thank
you
you,
very
everyone.
much. Thank you, Adam. And a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for Dato' Luri Liu, founder of Luri Bespoke, who's been with us for the last 1 hour. Very inspirational, all the tips that you've gotten from Dato'. I'd like to invite our BOT to present a token of appreciation. Dr. Muhammad Yusof Sulaiman, if you'd like to go up on stage. Yeah, and also... oh, okay, we'll just do it down here, probably. Yeah. Are you wearing one of your shoes, Dato' Luri? No? All right. Thank you very much. A token of appreciation to Dato'. Yeah. I would like Dato' Muhammad Yusof to present a small token of appreciation to Dato' Luri Liu. Yeah. Our two BOTs this morning of Yayasan Inovasi Malaysia. Thank you. Together with Adam. Small token for Adam as well, not forgetting our moderator this morning, Adam Ramsky, Senior Manager, Group CEO's Office of Cradle Funds, Sdn Berhad. So you can go up to Adam and ask him about funding as well from Cradle. Okay, and Dato' Luri about the shoes. Thank you very much. We'd like everyone to please stay back because we have the next session coming up, a very interesting session on use of artificial intelligence, AI, in science, technology, and innovation, STI, leveraging tacit knowledge. So we'd like everyone to stay back while I call up the panelists to make their way on stage. We've got 4 distinguished panelists as well as our moderator, who is Mrs. Karen George Abraham, the Deputy Director of Malaysian Science and Technology Information Centre, Ministry of Science, Technology and Innovation. She'll be making her way up as the moderator for this session, which will start in like a couple of minutes, on the use of artificial intelligence, AI, in science, technology and innovation, STI, leveraging tacit knowledge. Thank you once again, Dato' Luri. Thank you very much. Okay, we'd like to invite right now, maybe we'll start off straight. All right, they're going to arrange the chairs, so give it a few minutes. We've got 4 distinguished speakers going up on stage. I'll just introduce their names, the panelists. Dr. Muhammad Yusof Sulaiman, who's the member Board of Trustees of YIM. We've got Associate Professor Dr. Ng Boon Kui, Department of Science, Technology Studies, University of Malaya. And we've got Dr. Arvin C. Renaid, Director of National Innovation Foundation from India, as well as T.S. Noor Azmi Mat Said, the Chairman of FRIM Incorporated, Sdn Berhad. They will be making their way on stage while they arrange the chairs. And not forgetting our moderator, Karen George Abraham, Deputy Director, Malaysian Science and Technology Information Centre, Ministry of Science, Technology and Innovation, here with us in this hall for the next session on the use of artificial intelligence, AI, in science, technology and innovation, STI, leveraging tacit knowledge. What all of you will gain this morning, deeper understanding of tacit knowledge and the challenges of capturing and transferring it within the STI ecosystem, insights into how AI can structure, apply, and scale tacit knowledge more effectively, experiences from industry leaders, researchers, policymakers, and grassroots innovators on leveraging AI for innovation, international perspectives on best practices in adopting AI in science and technology, and there'll be an engaging discussion overall on striking the right balance between machine intelligence and human wisdom in driving innovation. So it's a very interesting session coming up with our 4 panelists as well as the moderator on the use of AI. Guys, don't forget to go to the 3rd floor as well as the 5th floor of our event, the Social Innovation Convention, KISS 2025. We have a lot of booths, the state booths right on the 5th floor, displaying all their state products and services, as well as business matching session on the 3rd floor. If you'd like to go up today, we have a full day here at GMBB. Right, I'll invite the panelists right now, if they're ready to go up on stage, the 4 panelists. Dr. Muhammad Yusof Sulaiman, Associate Professor Dr. Ng Bong Kui, Dr. Arvin C. Renate, and T.S. Noor Azmi Madsaid, as well as our moderator, Karen George Abraham. I'd like to invite all the panelists to go up on stage. A round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. The topic is on use of AI in science, technology, and innovation, leveraging tacit knowledge. Over to you.
Test. So thank you everyone. Good morning. Salam sejahtera semua. Good morning. Okay, welcome to the forum titled Use of AI in Science, Technology and Innovation, Leveraging Tacit Knowledge, a featured session under the Social Innovation Convention, also known as KISS 2025, organized by the Ministry of Science, Technology and Innovation through the Malaysian Innovation Foundation, YIM. What is tacit knowledge? Tahu tak? Tacit knowledge. Okay, tacit knowledge is based on intuitions, skills, insights, rather than explicit facts or written instruction. It is not obtained from formal training, but rather through hands-on experience and practices, which is hard to put into writing in explicit form. Basically, it is our experience. It is deeply rooted in individual experiences, beliefs and culture. Tacit knowledge drives innovation in these cases. AI, semua tahu kan? AI, on the other hand, gives us the tools to analyze, structure, and share this knowledge in ways that were never before possible. For the session today, we would like to understand the challenges in capturing tacit knowledge within the STI ecosystem, and how AI tools can make sense of this kind of knowledge. Are we even successful in capturing and storing? I was talking about data, so this is really important. Are we successful in capturing and storing this vast and rich knowledge in the first place? Please note that questions for the panel will be taken at the end of the forum. Without further ado, let me begin by introducing some of our region's most experienced minds, our distinguished panelists. Dato Dr. Muhammad Yusof Sulaiman, the former president and CEO of the Malaysian Industry Government Group for High Technology, or MITE. He brings experience in technology management and industrial strategy. He currently serves as a member of the Board of Trustees for YIM and chairs both the Malaysian Rail Industry Corporation and UPM Innovation Sdn Bhd. Continuing his dedication to innovation and leadership, he also provides advisory, consultancy, and mentorship support through the Women Leadership Foundation, the ASEAN Innovation Business Platform, the UNESCO Center for Technology Incubator and Science Park Development, as well as the Global Federation of Competitiveness Council. Our second panelist is Dr. Arvind Ranade. He earned his master's in space sciences from the University of Pune, India, and later completed his PhD in astronomical spectroscopy and the Inter-University Center for Astronomy and Astrophysics. He began his career in 2004 as a scientist at Vigyan Prasar under India's Department of Science and Technology, where he dedicated 17 years to achieving scientific education and communication. Throughout his career, Dr. Arvind has contributed extensively through research publications, books, and educational programs, while also promoting frugal innovations that engage young minds in developing local solutions to local challenges. And today in the audience, I see a lot of young minds. So Dr. Arvind, maybe later you can expound on this. He is currently a director with the National Innovation Foundation of India. Our third panelist is technologist Wan Nur Azmi Mat Syed. With over 3 decades of experience navigating Malaysia's innovation landscape, technologist Nur Azmi has built a distinguished career, translating complex systems into impactful outcomes. He has served as CEO of SME Cooperation Malaysia and as chairman of both MY Creative Ventures and FRIM Incorporated. His leadership spans across the creative economy development, bioeconomic commercialization, and SME ecosystem transformation, all driven by a commitment to sustainable and structural impact. He continues to shape Malaysia's approach to integrating social impact with business sustainability, operating at the intersection of strategy and execution to turn visionary ideas into measurable national progress. And our final but not least is Associate Professor Dr. Ng Boon Kui. Dr. Ng earned his PhD in Technological Innovation Management from University Malaya in 2011. With over 2 decades of academic experience, he is a dynamic educator specializing in technological innovation management, science and industrial policy, technology, entrepreneurship, and science diplomacy. His research focuses on the policy and management of science and technology, emphasizing industrial innovation, inclusive and grassroots innovation, and social innovation. His work highlights the importance of social networks in strengthening national and regional innovation systems. Having served as a consultant to several prestigious organizations, he currently serves as Associate Editor of Technological Forecasting, sits on the steering committee of the National Collaborative Network of Science Centers of Malaysia and Social Change, and is on the editorial board for the Asian Journal of Technology Innovation. Thank you for being with us here today. As you see, we do have a very distinguished lineup of panelists. So we will be having 3 rounds of questions, discussions, with perhaps 5 minutes per panelist to expound on that. Dr. Muhammad Yusof, perhaps you could share with us, in Malaysia's SDI landscape, what are the biggest challenges you think we are facing in capturing tacit knowledge? And how can AI be used to unlock and apply this valuable insight?
Thank you. Thank you, Karen. Thank you for the kind introduction. I'm happy to be here, having conversation with my distinguished panel and also with all of you. There is a connection between the first session and this session. I think what the first session has shown, that with a lot of understanding of what is happening around the world, you may be able to adapt yourself to make good, whether it's your business, whether it's your things that you do. Now, let me put this topic into a context which may help the younger people especially. AI is nothing new. We heard from Datuk Larry this morning, that he heard from Jack Ma about IoT about maybe 10 years ago. So this something that is occurring, technology that is ever evolving in our life. So the context I want to put is that it's not new, and that the government, through MOSTI, has captured this in terms of its importance, in terms of its relevance to our economy, to our nation building. You only have to refer to the DISTIN, the National STI Policy, which actually mentioned this technology, which is going to play a very big role in our development. It is, of course, a group under the advanced technology with the others, as mentioned by Dr. IoT, we have the big data analytics, we have blockchain, we have advanced material, and the rest. So this also signals that AI should not be taken in isolation. It should be taken together with the other technologies so that you may be able to apply it, especially into science, technology, and innovation, is very, very key. Because without this new technology being brought into our discussion on STI, we will be remaining the same what we were 10, 20 years ago. So that is the context I want you to understand. That we have a national initiative on AI that is looking into what would be the best way to help society, help businesses, help operators, and the rest. So we have that. Now, secondly is this thing called Tacit knowledge, which is what we listened to this morning. I mean, there was a knowledge of an innovator, a businessman, a thinker, all over the years. So what we have managed to capture this morning is that there is Tacit knowledge, which you will not get available in any books or any document that may be available in the internet. So Tacit knowledge is very, very key. Now, in the 1990s, it was mentioned as a consensus building. It may be mentioned as a management approach as opposed to economic approach for nation building. It's about conversation with people who matters. People who knows what that particular sector, what particular industry or technology all about. You bring them to you to listen to them. So these conversation platforms has to be created for you to listen to these people. Now, this is something that we don't do a lot nowadays. We want to say things, but we do not want to listen in return. So when you listen to people, you have this collective knowledge that can be captured, that can be formatted, that can be, analyzed in many ways. AI make it faster, AI make it more available, access, and etc. But the bottom line is that you need to be in that conversation. If you want to know more about what happens to Dr. Larry and etc., you need to speak to him. You need to capture his tacit knowledge. You need to talk to other colleagues of yours that may have different experiences. So you keep on collecting. And this make you more wiser. This will make you more able to analyze what is the problem and challenges that is facing you. So it's the same way with scientists, it's the same way with technologists, it's the same way with industrialists, business people. We need to come together and to share this knowledge. Sharing is caring, but here sharing is more critical to be able to develop some form of strategy or some form of a agenda for the country. Thank you.
Thank you, Dato. I think the biggest takeaway there would be to listen, to make time to listen. So for all of you in the room today, yes, I do hope that you take this into account. Sebab kita selalu nak benda cepat. We want things fast. We don't make time to listen. So listen. Thank you for being in the room as well once again. Dr. Arvin, perhaps you could also share on the challenges that, from the perspective of India, what the challenges in capturing tacit knowledge, and based on your work with the National Innovation Foundation, how has India applied AI to surface grassroots knowledge?
Thank you, Doctor. First of all, let me put my sincere thanks for the Yayasan Inovasi Malaysia for inviting me to be part of the panelist and sharing the experience in terms of the contribution of India, especially for the tacit knowledge. Since I see that there is a lot of youngsters here, let me share one anecdote, especially in terms of what the tacit knowledge is. Because this is a knowledge, as a moderator and earlier speaker also spoke about, a knowledge which you can't get in a formal education. There is no degree course, nothing like that. But then what kind of a knowledge it is all about? Then a beautiful example that one can talk about is an identifying a boy in a class by a teacher who did not perform the homework. Doesn't need any kind of, whether she or he has to look at the notebook and understand. By the facial expressions and other things, body language, one can understand. And there are a lot of such examples. Even a mechanic who understands by listening to the sounds of a motorbike or maybe a car, understanding what kind of a problem that motorbike or a vehicle can have. So this is all about a tacit knowledge. And when it comes to the, I would say, not only perhaps limits to the India, but if you look at the global south, if you look at the entire biodiversity hotspot across the globe, there are about 36 to 37 biodiversity hotspots. More than 1/3 of these biodiversity hotspots are located in a global south. So what does it tell you? It tells you that huge amount of biodiversity lying in this particular belt, and quite obvious to understand there is a lot of culture, there is a lot of knowledge that one can think of because of the lot of natural kind of a knowledge resources are sitting in this particular part of the globe. And we all belongs to the global south, and that's why if you look at the entire topography of our region, you will see there are huge amount of biodiversity is lying there, and that gives rise to understand that there are a lot of linguistic biodiversity, linguistic diversity, as well as the cultural diversity. Now when it comes to the linguistic and the cultural diversity, it's quite obvious to understand there is a huge amount of knowledge which is sitting among the communities, among the people. Now, as I said, when it comes to the tacit knowledge, India has more kind of I would say the challenges, because India as a country, if you look at, we got an official 22 language which has got a script, which has got a written script, and if you talk in terms of the dialects, we have got 19,000 dialects if you look at all from the north to south and east to west. That gives rise to understand there's a huge repository of knowledge which is sitting there. And when it comes to, as moderator was asking about in terms of the National Innovation Foundation, we as an institution supported by the government of India, we are exclusively working for the tacit knowledge. Today we have got more than 300,000 claims and traditional knowledge sitting with us. And when it comes to the huge amount of database, it's a really mammoth work that needs to be really been worked in the context of doing the justice. And that is where the role of AI comes into the picture. Now we got so much of the data with us. So how can we do that? And obviously all that data comes from a variety of the communities with the different kind of challenges in terms of the language, in terms of the dialects, the knowledge. So we have to first collect. And that is where in the last 20 to 25 years of our existence is more than 300,000 claims and the traditional knowledge we got. Now big challenge is to classify that. So with the whatever the expertise that NIF holds especially in terms of the agriculture, engineering, veterinary science, human health, we first take the help of AI to classify it in a larger context. Now the biggest job comes into when we got that knowledge classified, what is the biggest challenge is to understand that knowledge in terms of the way that we got it recorded and documented. Because the knowledge that we received comes from a different language, comes from a different processes. So that needs to be, huge amount of work and the aspect that processes has to done. So we are in the process of classifying it in terms of the recording, in terms of the documentation, so that we can take the help of AI for our prior art search. Because real innovation, real uniqueness of the innovation will come when we realize that it is an innovation which is not at all been recorded anywhere and which has got its own significance. And that is where NIF has been working. And let me tell you, this is what we do at the, as an institutional level. But when it comes to the national kind of policies and all, I must tell you there is a exclusive kind of an institutions called as a TKDL, which stands for Traditional Knowledge Digital Library, which has documented huge amount of traditional knowledge in a digital format. And that is where recorded by the government of India over the last, again, I would say 20 years of its existence, started then the Director General of CSIR. And today, the basic challenge for us is to understand that knowledge system in a bigger context. And that is where another initiative by the government of India, which has come as called as a Bhashini. Bhasha is a word called for the language in a Hindi or a Sanskrit. So that Bhashini is one of the tool which classify the entire understanding of the knowledge and then classify it based on the needs of the people. So these are in the context that I can say what we at an NIF has been doing over the last, I would say, 25 years. And after the intervention of AI, we are terrifically trying to use it for the easiest approach, and we have been doing it. And that also supports with the TKDL and Bhashini kind of initiatives by the government of India. And we are in a real need of that, so that the efforts can really go in a right perspective, so that this tacit knowledge can be of a leveraging for the basic needs of the humanity in the days to come. So that is what we at the India has been doing over the last couple of, I would say when it comes to AI, in the last about a decade time, but when it comes to the rest of the tacit knowledge system, it's about more than 2.5 a decade. That's what we have been doing. Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor. Two things. Data is king. And the other thing is necessity is the mother to all inventions. So for all the young innovators out there, please do contact YIM and feed them. I'm sure there is some sort of data depository there with YIM. Please put in whatever you think is important to your innovation so that data is captured. Thank you. Our third panelist, technologist Tuan Rasmi, based on your experience while at FRIM, how do you integrate the tacit knowledge of forest experts and local communities with AI technologies in environmental conservation efforts?
Okay, thank you. Before I proceed, may I know, raise your hands if you're already using AI? All right. And have you downloaded ChatGPT or AI onto your handphones? Okay. How many AI that you use? Only ChatGPT? Or you use several AI? Okay. There's two big difference words between, if it's in Malay, AI is kecerdasan buatan. Kecerdasan buatan. But there's a big difference between cerdas and cerdik. Manusia cerdik, kecerdikan manusia. When you combine the difference between cerdik dan cerdas, that's the wisdom, intangible values that you experience over the years as human being. And that's what we're talking about here. The different, how the tacit knowledge, manusia, the human tacit knowledge, different from kecerdasan buatan. Okay. In a little bit history about AI, artificial intelligence. It all started based on first when Aristotle talking about reasoning. Then mathematical formulations. Then there is also body, mind, when people notice, or people do notice, but then people start to publish saying that there's difference between body, mind, and soul. So when looking at the difference between body and mind, people take the minds and looking at that create artificial minds or mimic how the minds operate. That's how it's all grow over the years. And a few years back, we're looking at where AI start with generative AI. Generative AI, when you ask AI, do this, do that, that generative. And now we are in the era of agentive AI. Agentive where you plan AI to do instructions. AI will do the instructions according to your instructions. A process approach. And we're going into cognitive AI. Cognitive AI where AI can think by itself, reasoning, to achieve reasoning like humans do reasonings. And what goes beyond reasoning is, if you chat with AI, they go into a transcendence where AI can think like humans or reasoning like humans. So when that happens, if you also chat with AI, AI project that will happen in 2040. 2044 to be exact, based on their Monte Carlo estimations. So that's how AI is going on at the moment. I mean, if you interact with AI, that's how they're going to progress. So the backbone of AI is LLM, the language model. Language model adalah the capability of AI or in programming the computers to turn whatever whatever you input into a mathematical language. And by doing that, they have the capability to observe and then to structure and then to respond according to the database that they have. So when applying tacit knowledge in the forestry or in other areas into AI, basically we start with feeding them with information for AI to learn, to AI to understand the pattern, and to AI after thousands, millions of iterations learning the same thing, AI will be able to respond accordingly. So in forestry areas or context, or even agriculture, looking at mapping of agriculture zone, the fertile of the soil. So this can be input into the AI through pictures, photos, satellites, photos. AI can look at or can respond, giving us the status of the land, status of the soils, and so on. The same like in the forest, for example, between the thunder and the chainsaw noise. You can program AI to differentiate ini bunyi thunder or this is a chainsaw, which would reflect to rangers, so somebody is doing illegal logging or some kind of activities. And so do in, now we're talking about carbon credit, carbon tradings. The health of the forest, or even the activities in carbon reductions can also be measured through using AI. So there are many activities that used to be experienced through experience by farmers. Now we can program it, or we teach the AI. We give the inputs, and they will, or we put up the process, the procedures, then AI will learn, and then the AI will be able to think about it and respond to us whenever we ask any questions to the AI. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. We in Malaysia or in the southern hemisphere, we are very rich in flora and fauna. And I know and I believe that we are already capturing a lot of data where flora and fauna is concerned. So that is really great to know, because once that knowledge goes away, we have no idea what's going to happen to all that little things that we take for granted. We come from the town, the city. When you go out to Sabah, Sarawak, the east coast of Malaysia, the east of Malaysia, we just have so much of flora and fauna there that we have not even seen here in the east. So it is good to know that is being captured. Datuk Yusof, perhaps you can share, oh, I'm sorry, my mistake. Prof. Dr. Ng, how can AI tools help academic and indigenous knowledge coexist meaningfully, especially when it comes to community-based or traditional knowledge? There is a lot of information that is kept in the shelves, researchers, that is kept in the shelves in the library of the university. So that needs to be put into use. So please do expound on that.
All right. First of all, thank you, Im, for inviting me to these sessions. It's a very tough question to answer. First, I think it's better for me to put a disclaimer here. I'm sitting here just sharing my own idea as an academic researcher for the past 15 and 20 years. And I'm not representing any specific university on the idea that I will put up later, you know. Because university itself is quite a very broad subject matter. There are many types of universities, you know. There are universities that totally research-based, comprehensive university at the federal and also at the state level, you know. So different universities play a different mandates and different role in educating the young generations. So today maybe I will just talk from a generic perspective of higher educations, okay, on this specific topic. Maybe just get some feeling from the audience, since all are young, okay. How many of you actually is currently in the universities? Yeah, a lot, you know, half of them are in the universities. So in general, when you talk about university deal with two kinds of knowledge. First is the formal knowledge that we all know is based on theory, concept, textbooks, or the common thing that the lectures provided in the classroom and so on. Those can be well documented, okay, in the textbook or manual. But today we are discussing another type of knowledge, the tacit knowledge. I think previous panels has provided a good background of what is meant by tacit knowledge. To me, tacit itself is something that attached to you. Dia melekat pada awak. Dan dia tak akan melekat pada orang lain. So the knowledge that comes from your own experience that attached to you, okay, along your journey of learning. So those are the tacit knowledge that we are discussing today. But when you talk about university in this kind of context, you know, the challenge is that formal knowledge and tacit knowledge operates in a different segment, in a different world, okay? We learn formal knowledge from the classroom, from the professors, but we need to also learn tacit knowledge. This I talk about from the perspective of university students or the researchers. They need to learn tacit knowledge, experiences, or the know-how from the local community. But the challenge is that they are located, they operate in different segments. So now come the main question for the moderator, how AI able to put them coexist meaningfully, meaningfully coexist. So kedua-dua itu boleh hadir pada masa yang sama, and it can benefit the wider community. To me, AI in this context can serve as a tool. You need to remember that AI is just a tool, platforms, okay? Try to connect these two broad type of knowledge. So you ask me, I will put that AI probably can play a better role in connecting the classroom knowledge to the tacit knowledge from the community. There are many examples of AI available outside, okay? We always quoted ChatGPT and so on, but don't forget there are other AI tools that help you to do the transcriptions, you can recall you have meeting, there are AI like Author AI, Nota AI that come you to help you to take the notes and help you to do the transcriptions of the interview, of the scripts, hours of scripts into a more structured text for you to analyze. There are also AI in the form of imaging, image, okay? You can just take a photo of the plant, maybe from film, okay, your researcher, and they can search and identify type of the background of that specific plants or certain tool. So all these are the AI, collectively we call it as an AI, that help the researchers. But again, come back to the basic questions here. What is the role, or the function of the university? All right. Local community provide local wisdoms. Okay. AI provide what? AI provide processing capacity, and the structure. How about university? To me, university provide a space for collaborations. There are so many universities in the country, I think all over the world, in India as well, I think. Okay. So we have a lot of young generation like all of you, So the students, the researchers provide, the university provide a platform, okay, to connect the different type of knowledge here, both focal and tacit, and make it as a space for collaboration to take place. So I think to that point, I think if the university able to optimize the use of AI, okay, and try to connect classroom knowledge with the community knowledge, the tacit knowledge, I think the spillover effects will be great for the country. Yes, there are other issues like, okay, who own the data ownership and so on, the trust between the different community. I believe I can talk this more in my subsequent sessions. I pass back to the moderator.
Thank you, Prof. Yes, university is the start of collaborations for all of you who are still in uni. That is a really good place to start. We go on to round two. Dr. Yusof, can you please share with us a successful Malaysian example where AI was used to enhance or scale tacit knowledge?
Thank you. Thank you for the question. Firstly, the way I define success under the macro context, like from a national perspective, it cannot be one success. It has to be a system where success can be repeated again and again. So if I'm to quote one success, like this morning was a success, I would like to think that how can we make that success repeated, be replicated, and become part of our life. I'm sure many of the entrepreneurs at the back there, aspiring entrepreneurs kita, would like to see themselves as successful as the gentleman who was speaking this morning. Isn't that right? You all want to be successful, kan? Now, from the macro perspective, that's why I said in my opening, the government is there to help. It has done that through its policy, a few policies with regard to AI. You can read about it. You can see what are the key areas which the government would want to focus on in terms of AI development. Whether AI as an enabler or whether AI as the industry itself. You can develop software, hardware for the AI applications. Now, first thing, when I look at this, how to repeat success. So this maybe is an answer to the policymakers, understand to the university and other stakeholders in this ecosystem. One, I think that is very important to ensure success is finance. Funding. Whether you like it or not, you need funding. Other countries have gone billions, hundreds of billions to develop AI infrastructure, to develop AI success stories. They have done that. And during the recent budget, we know what is the budget for AI. We need to now see how we can make use of that funding more prudently and divide it into more people. But I like the moderator suggestion just now. Aspiring entrepreneurs who wants to go into this game, go to YIM. So, my first point was that funding is important. Two, the institutions, aspiring entrepreneurs who wants to better their business through the application of AI, where do we go? Who do we talk to? So, alhamdulillah, YIM is there. There are other agencies. The government set up the National AI Office for more bigger AI projects or AI proposals. But we need to talk to institutions like this. R, I mentioned earlier, is regulation or policy. P, the policy is very, very important. So that we know that there is something behind us that is pushing us, that is supporting us, and making it easy for us to apply this AI into our business. And then go to the next one, S, skill. You have to learn the skill. There was one Indian speaker who was 12 years old. He was quoting this, I think it was very, very important point that he makes, that AI is not going to steal your jobs. It won't do that. The one that's going to steal your job will be the one who is actually mastering the AI. So are you one of them or are you one or the other? So you need to master. You need to master AI somehow. And there's a lot of ways you can do that. University is one place where you can actually learn more about AI. And then finally, the important element is T, technology. The technology that is available. Like I said earlier, AI doesn't work in isolation, it works together with other technology. The point made about how important is as LLM, the large language module, to AI is another challenge to Malaysia. For us to be successful, we need our own knowledge, we need our own technology. We can't continue to import all these things. But the token in the whole AI universe, language Malaysia is only about 0.6%. That means our knowledge is not being in that circulation. Because we do not have that language platform to do that. But I'm glad to share with you that UPM has developed Putra GPT, which actually make the language basis Malay, Chinese, Indian into that particular system. That's where we can actually understand more of our traditional, our legacy knowledge that our parents, grandparents have created. So normally kalau you listen to Chef Wan, for example, macam mana Chef Wan cook, delicious dishes. It was knowledge from the mother, from the aunts, from the ni dan sebagainya. But if Chef Wan doesn't understand Malay, how would he understand what was the knowledge going to be imparted to him? So we need, as a country, to actually look into this contribution of our own knowledge into the whole language system. Now, I have to answer the moderator. In mobility, in the rail transportation that I work with, are applying AI. And just now it was mentioned that it could be used to use noise or to use sound as an indication. So if you can imagine kereta api lalu on the track, it makes noise, it makes a sound. But it makes different sound if it's operating on a track that is bent. It is making a different sound if the track is not on a very strong foundation. So this is something that the rail companies, operators like KTMB is using to actually locate where this problem before it becomes accidents or etc. But the question is that we need to verify this claim, isn't it? If I say that we are already doing it, then you will ask, how fast is that system measuring the damage? How much more expensive are we going to use this AI in order to get all these answers? What is then all questions come in. So what I'm telling you is that the knowledge that is passing through needs to be verified, needs to be checked before it is actually implemented in your business or in your life. So have this kind of a back to the conversation, discuss with people who you know, who you trust, that could actually ascertain that certain things are really the truth, certain things are really useful for your business or for your life, and then for you to be, to ensure that these are the right thing to do. Thank you.
Thank you, Dato', for that example. Very interesting, yeah, to be able to know through noise by applying AI. The other thing I'd like to say to the young audience today is that you are not alone. If you have an idea, if you need to speak to someone like what Dato' just mentioned, find the room, find the place, find the opportunity to join such talks like this, and find the person that you can speak to. So you are not alone, please remember that. Dr. Arvind, could you share with us the governance frameworks in India that have supported, trust, and collaborated in AI projects involving community knowledge?
Very nice question. Let me put the things in a perspective since I see the young audience here. I think 21st century is a century of data science. The moment you go out, you take your either what you call as a credit card or maybe a debit card, or you go, you enter your information. So everywhere you go and then pass on the informations. So that means that sharing of information is largely been part and parcel of our day-to-day life. Now, what makes more vulnerable is to how to protect that data, because whenever you give the data, it's a mutual kind of an understanding that the data will remain with the data holder. So at the same time, what becomes more important, especially unless and until there is a policy framework, there is a large amount of chances that your data may be shared, it may go into the all kind of complications, and then you keep on fighting for all your rights. So I think it is important for any nation, or for that matter even internationally, there is a policy framework that has to be in the place. So when it comes to India, one aspect is about defining a policy, and one aspect is ensuring that the information which is being shared or the knowledge that is being shared is well protected and has been given a kind of an rights to hold that knowledge. So in that capacity, let me start with the chronologically, especially in the terms of the traditional knowledge or the tacit knowledge. When the Nagoya Protocol under the WIPO happened, immediately by 2014 and 15, India has come up with the what you called as a policy framework under which now you look at the any traditional knowledge which is there, whether it is held by TKDL, whether it is held by the NIF or any kind of data sets which are being generated. It's a mandatorily now that every knowledge holder need to take up, it's called as an PIC, that is, you are taking an, kind of an licensing with him. It's called the prior informed consent. So you are taking a consent from the knowledge holder that the knowledge that you have shared will be utilized in the right perspective, will not be shared unless there is a, what you called as a access benefit sharing. So when you share the knowledge, you will be getting the share of that knowledge in the perspective of protecting that, and that's where the NIF also very religiously follows that. In that context, I must tell you that all the knowledge holders, especially when it comes to the traditional knowledge holders or a tacit knowledge holders across the India, and especially when it comes to the 300,000 claims and data that we hold, every single claim that we have collected is absolutely under the PIC, that is prior informed consent. So that means whenever we got this knowledge being recorded in terms of a documentation, digitization, everything, we have taken an informed consent. And in the process of that, when we go for the, what you called as, IP protection, intellectual property protection, we ensure that all the intellectual property belongs to the knowledge holder. And that is where today we feel very proud when we talk about the knowledge holders that belongs to the National Innovation Foundation. Today we have got more than 800 patents, and all the patents are on the name of the traditional knowledge holders. It's something that we are trying to do the justice, ensuring that the knowledge which is shared by those knowledge holders belongs to them. And when it comes to the access benefit sharing, any product that comes to the market or any kind of a process that come into the market or commercialization channel, all the share goes to with the understanding, with the agreement, so all the knowledge go to them. So there is a good amount of interventions by the policy framework. Now when it comes to the next part of it, when it comes to the artificial intelligence, and that is where the important aspect that over the period you will see that all the knowledge, and in fact we are the living in the nature, so we have got the National Biodiversity Authority, ensuring that anything that you take from the nature, you are really giving it back to the nature. That is where the National Biodiversity Authority works, plays a significant role. If there are any endangered species that you are trying to make use of that for your, whatever the purpose varies, for the medicinal value product or anything, you need to get that authority certifications so that you ensure that anything which belongs to the nature has been protected well with the policy framework. So this NBA is something which takes care of that, ensuring that not only in the terms of knowledge, but the resources that comes from the nature will again be protected. Now when it comes to the artificial intelligence, and when it again in terms of the policy framework, by 2024, India has come up with the India AI mission, that is India's artificial intelligence mission, which speaks about the responsible AI for all. That means any knowledge or any amount of data that have been shared will fall under the responsible aspect. Now, what do we mean by the responsible aspect? There is a center which is called the cyber as well as AI center, which categorize the data, what is called the low risk data. That means the information that you can share to an extent which can allow you to go up to the certain aspect and then there is a little high risk AI data, which you can still allow, but with some kind of riders on it. And at the third level, it's called the protected AI. That means a knowledge which you will never be allowed to share because that belongs to a knowledge holder, that belongs to a knowledge creator, that belongs to a person who has creatively worked on that. So if you look at the policy interventions, especially for the traditional knowledge as well as the tacit knowledge, India has got the tremendous amount of policy frameworks in the picture, and we do that. And NIF is one of the institutions which religiously not only follows but ensure that the knowledge, which are the knowledge holders, right, coming from the far-flung in the remotest part of it, in what we call as a tribals community, anything for that matter, all the knowledge is well protected as well as been given what you call the access benefit sharing. And through that, you will see that NIF has come up with more than nearly 50 such products which are in the market. And all the product which has come into the market has really got the access benefit sharing to the every knowledge holder, whether it belongs to the blood pressure medicine, whether it belongs to the arthritis, anything that if you look at, or for, in fact, beyond that, any product which comes into the agriculture as well as the, in terms of the engineering, everything that comes into the market is well protected under the various policy framework, and especially AI is helping us to understand the level of protection that it needs to hold. And in that process, if you look at right from the beginning, with these policy interventions, we are able not only to protect, but also get the benefit sharing for every knowledge holder that it comes from. And that is where we consider in the 21st century, this is very, very essential, because unless and until you have those policy frameworks in the right perspective, it's not going to benefit for the knowledge holder as well as the progress of the humanity per se. So that is where the we at India ensures with every kind of things that comes into. Of course, I don't go beyond the knowledge, traditional knowledge or the tacit knowledge, because when it comes to the STI framework, we have got a tremendous amount of new missions and new programs ensuring not only the, what you call as a traditional, but the cutting edge science also will have a very protective, aspects associated with, and that is where the, we are trying to be ensuring that this particular aspect is very intact for the benefit of the society in total. Thank you.
Yes, a very important thing about data protection. The other thing that I'd like to share with the crowd is share your knowledge. It is important for the next generation, for the next person who wants to know about what you're doing. And not only that, it is for the country as a whole, because your knowledge will be forever in that AI data depository. So please do share your knowledge. In Mastic, we have a system called Christy.my. Researchers actually put in their data there, but there are many, in that whole list of things that they have to put in there are many gaps. Not everything is being shared. So sharing is important. Technologies, Norazmi, what multidisciplinary strategies have worked in your field when combining AI with expert and local knowledge?
Okay, first of all, I like to echo what being mentioned earlier. AI should not replace you, but AI should be used to amplify your work. And in that sense, you also need to know, you must already aware that AI or developing AI is all about team sport. In developing any AIs or working on AI, you need a typical flow will be for you to capture the particular task or works or knowledge, and then you need to document it, and then you need to convert it into language. Then you test it. So similarly, in any AI development or in forestry as well, It's involved teams of people from various backgrounds, not just one area of expertise. And it all starts with fieldwork. You have to go to the ground, understand the ground, especially when it comes to tacit knowledge. Everything is on the ground. So you have to communicate with the knowledge owner, document it, whatever particular angle of expressions of knowledge by the knowledge owner. You have to find an approach that you'll be able to document it, and then once you document it, then you need to bring it to the engineers, the computer programmers, how to document it into the machine language or machine forms, how to structure it in machine forms. You structure it. Then once you structure it, then you start to deploy it, put it into a flow or instructions. Then you will test it. But again, in this area, the most important thing is to get a consent from the knowledge owner, the tacit knowledge owner. I like to tell you one story. For example, like my late mother. If you know dodol, she's good in making this dodol. Dodol is a kueh, and people come and in almost every Ramadan when she make dodol, people come and ask for a recipe how to do it. He give a recipe. She give the recipe, but then he didn't tell anybody that which one to put first, because of course in making this dodol you have flour, sugar, the white sugar, the red sugar, and so on. But she didn't tell anyone that you have to put this first, wait for 30 minutes, then you have to put this white sugar, then after 30 minutes, then you put this red sugar. So this is the tacit knowledge that not everybody willing to share. So when you want to document this tacit knowledge into an AI, the consent from the people that are holding the knowledge is a must, so that he or she will be openly sharing with you what kind of knowledge. And from there, then you could compute it. Once you compute it, put it into the AI, then there should be an element of compensations. This is like what India has, the policy to compensate this tacit knowledge or traditional knowledge documentations into AI. So this is another what we can say. You have to get consent. You compute it, and then you have to compensate whoever hold this particular tacit knowledge, and then you will be able to have, be able to develop or convert tacit knowledge into an AI, and everybody could use that later. Okay, thanks.
Thank you, Tuan Nur Azmi. That is really interesting. Something to share, I suppose, close to the heart of Malaysians would be food, or maybe us in the southern part, which is food generally. So sharing of knowledge is that important. Resipi sahaja tak cukup. Cara-cara untuk memasak tu yang penting. But sorry, in translating, the recipe is not enough. We also need to know how to go about cooking up that dish to the taste of what it should be, or what you remember. You know, when you put a mouthful of rendang, for example, into your, a mouthful of rendang, a spoonful of rendang into your mouth, and then you get that memory of, oh, this is how mak saya buat dulu-dulu. That is what we are trying, that's what we call tacit knowledge. It is down to that level. And how do we record that? So that is also important. Associate Professor Dr. Ng, what best practices would you recommend when building AI systems that interact with sensitive or tacit knowledge?
All right. I think the key point here is that sensitive, local knowledge. First, we need to understand that why this kind of tacit knowledge is sensitive. Then you will better appreciate why we need to protect it, Why it is sensitive? There are a lot of reasons, okay? One of the key reasons is that because tacit knowledge reflecting an identity, cultural base, and also the heritage of certain community. And this kind of tacit knowledge actually, in most of the time, is collectively owned by the community. Dia dikongsi sama oleh community itu. Dia tidak macam scientist kan, dia cipta sesuatu, he can claim the total ownership of that prototype or technology if you done it in the lab. But when the knowledge comes from community, it is community based. It's collectively owned by the community. So on that part, okay, it comes a little bit of sensitive who should get the ownership, to give you the right to use that knowledge. Okay, so that particular, in my own view, why in many of the projects, okay, when we deal with tacit knowledge, we need to be a little bit of careful, okay, to identify who actually owns that knowledge. So, and then how to come up with the best practices, okay? Maybe not the best, good practices, okay, to address this issue, Just to share my own experience, I have been doing research, okay, with the community, okay, for quite some time. In the early years of my research career, I just go out, interview people, getting local, pachi and machi, and get their experience, their know-how with my project, grant, and so on. I taking their knowledge and come back, then I write paper. Because academicians, right, we need to publish, okay? We write paper, put it in the book, and then translate it to my course material, bagi kuliah kan. Cakaplah contoh-contoh itu kan, use it as a case study. But until one day, when I repeat the same thing again and again, one of my mentor, okay, remind me. He said that, you do all this research, yeah, it's good, publish, and then try to, promote, okay, and showcase a successful story. But at the end, what the community get? I got my promotion, I got my paper, achieve my KPI, but what are the community out there get from my research? The same thing, okay, half of you just now show hand saying that you are university students. Surely you have a lot of assignment, project, okay, ongoing or in the past. You go out, interview people out there, I think people on the ground, the community, they are very helpful. They welcome you, okay. But at the end, have you think that what's the contribution of your project to them? You get your degree, you get your grade A in certain subjects, but at the end, apa yang pacik-macik kat luar tu dapat, kan? So they welcome you, they spend your time and so on, to entertain you, to share, but at the end, there's no very tangible, okay, benefit they actually able to reach out to them. So put that as a scenario, so you will have better appreciation on the context that actually you can do more as a university researcher. We can do more, okay? So that's why there are many types of approach have been used at the moment. Try to make sure there is good practices and try to create a win-win situation, One of the approach, you ask me, is a participatory approach. it means that you co-create, okay? You co-create, co-design, co-develop your project together with the community from the beginning of the project, okay? So try to engage them from the very beginning, and you try to understand what is their problem, okay? And your project, what are the main outcomes for a project that actually can provide certain degree of solution, practical solution to them, okay? So in that way, I think you are conducting a more meaningful project rather than a very, what I call it, academic project that based on publication and so on. So this is one thing, you know, try to engage the community, try to understand them, and try to ensure. I know it's difficult, okay, at this stage, you know, as a university student, but try you have a embedded with your project with this kind of social mission, okay, to reach them. Even you talk about, for example, in my university, you know, all the project, you go out to collect data, okay, you need to get ethical approval, right? There's committee to evaluate your proposal. We need to get the license, the approval of a committee member before we go out for collecting data. So one of the criteria in that application is that what are the direct benefits that the community will get from this project. We need to answer that, okay? We need to answer that. So that's one thing that when you talk about a good practice, okay, how university researcher as well as the students, you know, when you try to reach out to the community, hopefully work together with them, okay, and then you will find your project more meaningful, okay, besides collecting your point in your subjects. I think I stop here, okay.
Sorry,
you, Prof.
a short interruption for a while. We've got a VIP coming into the hall, which is Exco Pelaburan Perindustrian Sains Teknologi dan Inovasi Negeri Pahang, YB Datuk Muhammad Niza bin Datuk Sri Muhammad Najib. He is here at KIS 2025. Supposed to be walking in, so all right, back to you.
Okay, thank you, Prof, for that. To the researchers on the ground, that is very sound advice. How do you pay back? So think about your research and how you pay back. Back to
Sorry, Karen, just announcing once again, Exco Pelaburan Perindustrian Sains Teknologi dan Inovasi Negeri Pahang, YB Datuk Muhammad Niza bin Datuk Sri Muhammad Najib. He's here at KIS 2025. Thank you. Back to our moderator, Ms. Karen.
Thank you, YB, for joining us. A little background for YB's benefit. We are currently discussing about the use of AI in science, technology, and innovation, leveraging tacit knowledge. So we are in round 3 right now. Back to Dato' Yusof. Please share with us your thoughts on some policy directions Malaysia should take to ensure AI is used ethically and inclusively in capturing tacit knowledge.
Thank you. Thank you for the question. As I've said earlier, the government has put in place many policies that will guide how we're going to use AI currently and also in the future. Now, there are a lot of you university students here. I wonder what actually is going through your head when we talk about AI. Could it be giving you ideas that it could be a shortcut somehow? Because you know that you can write a PhD research using AI very easily, but of course, university has certain firewall to prevent you and to actually find out that whether you have actually been using AI ChatGPT inputs as your assignment and the rest. This actually bring up what I normally use as a parameters for engaging people. I call it the 3 C's. The first C is conversation, which we have touched a lot today. But AI give us a new perspective on conversation. I hope that this technology that is available to you will not actually prevent you or would actually take out altogether from your habit to have conversations with people who actually matters, whether your friends, your families, and etc., as compared to spending 24 hours in a room talking to your AI chat bot or something to that effect. So in terms of ethics and governance, as the moderator is asking, it is not something new. When a new technology comes, that you need to actually put some guardrails to prevent it from being used as a negative impact to the society, to people of interest and the rest. I remember when we had biotechnology as the third engine of growth for the nation, immediately we actually made a strong point about GMO, genetically modified organism. It's not going to be allowed in Malaysia. So that means we will not tolerate food that is actually coming out from GMO. And if you remember a few years ago, someone with about $2,000 can actually start a gene editing activity. You know, gene editing is that something like if you think you have cancer or you have your family hereditary of some diseases, you can edit the genes to make sure that the future generations or yourself do not carry that same diseases over and over again. Have you seen the movie The Gorge? Have you seen the movie The Gorge? Okay. Then I will not tell you the story because you have to see it. But there are things that can go wrong if technology is being used in a very negative way with evil intention. And in the case of that, the Gorge, a country is trying to produce super soldiers and ended up making the genes infused with genes of plants and animals and etc. And the outcome was very, very bad. It's not a super soldier at all. It was a mutant, it was a monster. So if you have a chance next time, watch The Gorge. Two very popular artists helming that movie. Now, so in terms of ethics, one is the government impose a safeguard. The other is what do you do to yourself in order for you to make sure that AI and the environment that you create will not make you a monster, will make you more sociable, will make you a better person, is what you need to think. Because technology will keep on being bombarded to you, and if wrongly applied, it might be a problem. So when the topic talks about use of AI for STI, we really have to be very, very cautious. And I think a few years back, Academy Science Malaysia published ethics for researchers to follow, not to do things that may endanger the country or the population. So bila you approach a certain technology, you have to have a sense of purpose, very, very strong sense of purpose, that I'm going to use this technology for the betterment of the people, of my business, without affecting negatively other people. Now, the second C I want you to remember is collaboration. That even with AI, you are not going to be able to come up with something great on your own. Now, this morning, Dr. Larry actually gave a little bit of hint that he's working together with myself, with UPM Innovations, with the National AI Society to create that smart insole that he was talking about. Sebab dia kata when you reach 60 or 70 years old, your legs become misalignment. Macam tayar kereta. You walk differently, like when you walk now. But the technology that's going to be used in that smart insole will actually allow you to balance, will allow the system to correct you as you grow older and older so that you will not have that problem when you reach 70 or 80. There is no way that any products, any indigenous innovation can be carried out alone. It's also alone in terms of a country. Malaysia cannot do it alone. We have to work with India. We have to work with other countries. So that this Tacit knowledge that we're talking about can be shared and can strengthen that whatever proposal that we want to do. So have a mind that this AI is not actually cocooning you to a particular walled room. It is actually liberating you to go, what Dr. Ray said, go to London, go to Paris, go to, not just in front of your desktop looking at it. 3, co-creation. So if you know that Azmi's mother is very good in making dodol, is it your grandmother or your mother? So how do you can create another type of dodol for the market? So you need to find people like Azmi's mother to co-create new products, to co-create and brand them. As Dr. Lori kata, if you want to get good price for it, you brand it so that people could actually associate the taste, the delicious thing about the dodol to your brand. So I leave you. Look at the 3 C's. This can be some kind of philosophy of how you conduct yourself as you move forward as entrepreneurs, as students, and etc. Make your mindset more liberalized. Make your, open up new challenges. And like he said, be patient, but just do it and make it happen, inshallah. Thank you.
Thank you, Dato. So the 3 C's, everybody: conversation, collaboration, and co-creation. To use technology ethically, and remember, we are not to be slaves to AI, but the other way around, yeah? Dr. Arvin, would you have any foresight on future AI technologies or trends you believe will most impact how tacit knowledge is captured in the global south?
Yeah. I think if you remember, in my in the beginning, I spoke about what we call it as who is the winner of the 21st century is the person who holds the data, because that is going to be the crux. And in fact, if you look at the AI, which also requires a humongous amount of trainings to be done. Now, what we all have been using at the ChatGPT or maybe Meta in the WhatsApp and many things, right? These all are being trained on the data. So the owner of the data is going to play a significant role. Now, what is more important in this aspect is the data is certainly an important, but the data which is correct, accurate, ethically and morally used data. Now, that is where the role of AI comes in. I think if you look at what commonalities among all of us lies, especially when I speak as a global south, okay? If you look at the global south, right from the Argentina, Mexico, all the way down to the Philippines and Indonesia, As I said, we are the one who holds the highest knowledge trait, right? Because we hold a lot of biodiversity hotspot. And that gives rise to the tremendous amount of challenges with us. Because we hold a lot of knowledge, we hold a lot of tacit knowledge, we also hold a lot of resources as well. Now, one of the important aspect where when it comes to India, as I said, we got a 22 official language. Now a person, in fact, when you look at the highest parliament, which is the lawmaking agency of the country, there also when you look at all the honorable member of the parliament, they also comes from large different variety of the background. There will be a member of parliament speaking Tamil who doesn't understand Punjabi. At the same time, a Punjabi member of parliament doesn't understand at all Kannada, right, another language. So what is important in all this is a role of an AI. And very successfully we have proved it, and now it has been used in our parliament as well. The moment a speaker speaks in his or her own language, immediately within a seconds you hear it in your own language. That is something, an advantage of an AI per se. Now when it comes to the tacit knowledge, it equally becomes an important, because our knowledge holders are coming from a different community, different practicing aspects. So that all knowledge first needs to be documented. And that is where I said the owner of the data who holds it. Now interpreting that data for generating a new knowledge, that is where the AI plays a very significant role. And that is where we all comes in picture, because we all have a different traditional knowledge system with us. And of course, as my earlier speaker also, and I really compliment to the organizers for a beautiful tagline that you hold. It's connect, cooperate, create, and then changescape. So that is what is the need of the world today. Because when you have all amount of knowledge that you hold, all amount of creativity that you hold, but to sustainable development, for having an humanity at the apex, what is important is to have a cooperation and collaboration. And that is where in India also, I just speak about the two important national missions wherein the government of India is working. One is called the Bhashini. Bhashini is one of the AI-based national mission, which is allowing you to interpret or document that knowledge and give you the reasonable amount of after a tremendous amount of high capacity based, what you called as a supercomputing facility, our Bhashini has got trained to almost close to 99% of the translation, which is coming to an accuracy. So the Bhashini is going to play a significant role not only in India, but that is where the our moderator was also speaking about. What about this global South, and especially when it comes to the ASEAN? I think such kind of a cooperation and collaboration in terms of the AI, like all these Bhashini extending to the all kind of ASEAN countries, will help to strengthen the knowledge system. At the same time, what we call as a large language model, which helps us out. And presently at IIT Mumbai, that is Indian Institute of Technology Mumbai, is coming up with the another mission. It's called the Bharat Gen. Bharat Gen also stands for, because the knowledge system within India also, it's so much of diversified. We need to understand that knowledge system to an extent that we are able to interpret it in the benefit of the humanity. And that's become important, and I think that is where we collectively can make use of such knowledge system and such artificial intelligence devices, or for that matter, and programs to cooperate, collaborate, coexistence, and leverage those technologies for the benefit of all. I think that is where becomes an important, and that's why I said the tagline that has come up with this particular program of KISS is something which is very, very pertinent to the day today, and I'm pretty sure in the days to come, such cooperation and collaboration is going to help us for development of humanity for each other. so that we really understand that the AI is going to be helpful. It's going to complement the living standards and not going to be a destructive, provided we have a good amount of policy frameworks to work on it. And that's where I consider that this is something that we all can jointly work upon. Thank you.
Thank you. Because of our rich diversity here in the Global South, we have a rich amount of data and knowledge. Regional cooperation and collaboration is important, if I may summarize. Tuan Rasmi, as AI becomes more integrated in innovation, how can we ensure that community perspectives and human values remain central?
Okay. As I mentioned earlier in the first round or second round, AI is a team sport. So team must involve from day one. And from day one, team must put human values first in designing the AI. And it's simply put it like this, because you put inputs into the language model. You put, without these values in place, it means as the model grow, then it may distract human intelligence when you're using it later. That's why how important it is to involve in the first day. Everybody have to involve in the first day. One example that I'm working on this, we call it Trade 57 with Saudi, anchored by Saudi with team across India, Turkey, and Malaysia. We're working on the cross-border commodity trades. We want to put AI into these systems where we would know when will be shortage of commodity and how we were to respond to that. We built that AI. And by putting this knowledge into that AI, we have to work on regional know-how, intangible knowledge from different regions, which mainly Turkey have different, which European, Saudi on the Middle East, India that covers also Central Asia, and Malaysia is covering ASEAN. And I was tasked to look at ASEAN side, and as in our group meeting, I said, okay, brother, I will do this. I'll go and meet the traders and trying to get the knowledge. And then this one guy, team members, Professor Moaz from KSA University, said, brother, you don't have to do that. Then said, how should I do it? No, you just put in the persona that you want to interview into AI and do your conversation with AI. As simple as that. So that's how things change now. And the same like when you do market, trying to look your potential market, target markets, AI can help a lot. This is where you can put in persona into the AI, program it, and then you converse with that AI, whatever questions, whatever things that you want to do. The same like when I was working on this Kanaf plantation studies. Actually, I did that only 30 minutes. First, I asked AI about the species of Kanaf available in the world that commercially viable. Then I asked which one is suitable in Malaysia. And then I asked AI study the soil in Malaysia. And then I asked AI to match which species and which soil is suitable for these Kanaf plantations. And then it's come up all the lists, which type of species you can plant in Terengganu, which type of species you can plant in Pahang, which type of species you can plant in Kedah. So that shortened my normally 3 months kind of works into 30 minutes. Then from there, I asked AI to look at the price of Kanaf, price of species of Kanaf, and run immediate profit and loss generation. That's 30 minutes. But the key know-how here, where to get the inputs, how you input, how you ask in AI. So again, this is where I think everybody must involve into building up the language model as put up by earlier Dr. Yusof, Malaysia need that language model so that we can work on, capturing tacit knowledge locally will be much more meaningful in that sense. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. We all agree that AI has helped us tremendously. Change is fast happening. And in all that we do, please do remember that our values remain central in all of this. And finally, Dr. Ng, what improvements should universities and research institutions play in preparing the next generation to integrate AI with tacit knowledge?
All right. Yeah, you talk about university actually, or just I mentioned the higher educations, in the country. Many of us actually, how I say that, misinterpret the role of a university. Is university provide education or provide training? Because educate and training, they are different. We provide training for the hands-on skill, training. We train them, okay? But university have a bigger role in the context of the society that is provide education. Educate. How to educate the next generation, our talent to be more adaptive to the use of AI, for example. To me, my own opinion is that you go back to the basic. Teach the student how to learn new things. The learning capability should be there to me. Okay, we know that you learn from the university, our syllabus, our curriculum will be outdated very fast. Especially when we talk about AI, this kind of really technical skill will be outdated very fast. But for the student, you need to know how to learn a new skill when you graduated. That's why in different organizations, you have in-house training. So when you reach there, you will learn new skill. Okay, it's more embedded skill to that certain organization or that certain sector. So how you make sure you're able to learn new things and you learn faster than the others. Okay, so all this tech skill come in. Pernah tak awak tanya dalam kelas, pensyarah yang, profesor yang sama, the same professor, same textbook, same syllabus, same kuliah, but when come to exam, answer different. All the answers are different, because they go back to the tacit knowledge, you capture the real story and appreciate what happened out there. You are not textbook-oriented training. It's more to a more comprehensive and holistic training. I think this is number one. University, okay, to me, wow, yeah, I say that we acknowledge that the importance of training, but the fundamental part of educating the young talent that able to learn new things, that should be there. And this go back to some basic skill like maths, okay, critical thinking, logical thoughts, and so on. So that's, I think, maybe the university can consider to strengthen on that part. Second, university also evolve. Okay, last time we know that university focus on education. There's first generation of university. Second generation of university, people say that university do research R&D. Third version or third generation of university, people say about commercialization. Okay, but now we are in the fourth generation of university that talk about entrepreneurial university. So when you talk about entrepreneurship, entrepreneurial university, it makes university have to open its boundary to many people. It's not only about professor and student. You need to allow startups to come in, agency to come in, and create the an environment that conducive to entrepreneurial development. So university become a borderless institutions that allow, okay, different type of organization come in and work together. I want to use that word again, co-create the project with the students. So the role of university also changed. The third point, maybe my last point that I would emphasize here is that I know that many of us use ChatGPT, okay? When the professor or the tutor asks you to make presentation, you just create the slide for ChatGPT. But it ends up that when it comes to presentation, you cannot present because that is not come from you. For example, I created all this list using ChatGPT. I don't use it now because it's not my idea. It's from the machine. I don't have the context. Content and context. This is the content. But how to elaborate it, present it using my own context? Malaysian context is different. That's why, as I suggested in my previous question just now, you need to go out, work with community, then you learn the context. You learn that tacit knowledge, and you can present your case in the classroom, or even you go to interview for job, look for a job, you can present yourself better using that context, that tacit knowledge. Context and tacit knowledge that make you different, stand out from compared to other people. I think I will conclude the statement here. Learn how to learn new thing, learn it fast, and then prepare yourself with the context argument to make you different from others' friends that just based on AI. Thank you.
Thank you, Prof, for sharing that. Betul tak apa yang Prof cakap tadi? Kalau kita download aja semua yang apa ChatGPT says, we are not able to present it. So anak-anak muda ni yang saya nampak ramai-ramai ni, please take that into account when you're using ChatGPT. So we've come to the end of our talk this morning. I'd like to open the floor for questions. So please do state your name, which panelist you are referring it to, or be it a general question, and the organization you're from if you're representing one. I open the floor. Ada soalan ke? Jangan lepaskan peluang ni. We have a whole load of knowledge here on stage. Going once? Going twice? Okay. Thank you so much for today. Before we end the session, perhaps a quick wrap-up? 1, 2 sentences or something for the young people here I see today? Okay, go ahead, Prof. Kita start pada sana.
AI is just a tool, a machine. It's like your search engine, a platform. But you are the ones that make the judgment. Okay, so you are the ones that make decisions. So yeah, I think that will be a principle when you do research in economics. All right. Thank you.
Okay. Treat AI as brains. When you work with AI, work with multiple AI. If you have ChatGPT, download Gemini, download Manas, download Grok, download Copilot, Cloud, and normally what I did, I asked the same questions or the same command prompt to all the AI, and I consolidate all the response. Normally I put it into Cloud, and ask Cloud to summarize everything. Then I start the thinking process again and again. So you don't start with one brain, so you start with 4 or 5 brains to work with.
Yeah. AI to preserve the tacit knowledge with the support of technology, collaboration, cooperation, and coexistence.
Sorry, I have no advice for you. Do you need any advice on AI? Anybody? Do you need any advice? They know more than us.
Tak ada soalan. Betul ke?
Tak.
Ramai yang
Do you need advice on AI? Anybody? Single person or group? No. There's a question somewhere? Yes, please.
Hi, I'm Nur Nasini from UPM Innovations. Just would like to ask from the experts, any tips that you can give us on balancing between getting information, using knowledge, advanced technology from AI, and producing our own knowledge or our original knowledge. Yeah, how to balance.
I think what is the need of AI to understand that AI can never supersede the human beings. So ultimate winners are going to be the humans. So it is a legitimate use of AI to make use of AI to preserve, to enhance, and to use it for the legal as well as legitimate answering the knowledge system. Now, again, it depends on ultimately, I just tell you an example. Whatsoever fact it is, you can use the technology, but technology can never be the winner as far as the human brains are concerned. So the point to understand in this whole aspect is how beautifully one can use the AI. So it needs to understand the problem in hand, for what purpose that you would like to. In knowing the aim of you to reach to the ultimate game, what kind of iterations or what kind of a training that you need to give so that it preserve the knowledge, it enhance your ability, and really make use for the development of humanity. So it's all depends on how creatively that you can make use of it. But it is for very sure that there won't be any time in the future that AI can supersede the human brains, because ultimately humans are the creator of AI. So AI will remain as a slave to the humans. That one has to understand to an extent. Thank you.
So just to continue, moderator, as from that point, I think this kind of technology make us all equal. That's why I don't have any advice to you, because I think I'm as knowledgeable of AI or other technologies as much as you. That's why I also think that it could be that you know more than me if you were to get involved with it, apply it, and etc. But I just want to put you to the challenge. Remember the 12-year-old Indian boy who actually is now a YouTube viral speaker? He said, AI will not steal your jobs. Remember? So don't be afraid of it. But the people who have the skill of AI will steal your jobs. So there's no choice. You either be in that one or you be the other one. So unless you skill up your AI capability, who knows what will happen. But for the sake of the country, I forgot to mention that Malaysia is number 24th in terms of AI readiness globally. Nombor 24. So we're quite good at that. So you are good, because that data didn't come from the air. It comes from people like you that has been using it, that has been applying it, and etc. Just remember that skilling is a continuous game, right? Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. So let me sum up with some takeaways for today. Thank you, Dr. Yusof, Dr. Avin, technologist Norazmi, and Associate Professor Dr. Ng for sharing such deep and diverse insights. Today's discussion reminds us that while artificial intelligence gives us computational power, it is human wisdom that provides direction. The future of innovation will not be defined by machines replacing people, but by people teaching machines to understand what truly matters. We've also been reminded that tacit knowledge is a priceless national asset, living within our communities, researchers, and traditional practices. With the aid of AI, we now have the opportunity to preserve, scale, and apply this knowledge in ways that were once unimaginable. Let us continue to build an innovation ecosystem that blends machine intelligence with human insight, cultural understanding, and shared purpose. On behalf of the organizers, YIM, I would like to once again thank our esteemed panelists and also all of you for being here today. May today's session inspire new collaborations across disciplines, institutions, and borders. Thank you. Please do enjoy the rest of the convention.
Thank you, Mrs. Karen George Abraham, the moderator, as well as all of our speakers up on stage for this session on the use of AI in science, technology, and innovation, STI, leveraging tacit knowledge. We'd like to invite for YB Datuk Muhammad Niza bin Datuk Sri Muhammad Najib to present a token of appreciation accompanied by Dr. Shamila. Maybe right down here, we can get the panelists to come down. Firstly, Dr. Muhammad Yusof Sulaiman. He's one of our BOTs, YIM's BOT. I'd like to give him a token of appreciation. Thank you very much for being one of our panelists. Secondly, Professor Madya Dr. Ng Boon Kui, who is from Jabatan Pengajian Science and Technology, University Malaysia, followed by Dr. Arvin. Next up, Dr. Arvin, all the way from India, ladies and gentlemen, National Innovation Foundation from India. Thank you very much for coming to Malaysia for this session. And last but definitely not least, another one for BOTs, T.S. Nur Azmi Mat Said. Kasih. Yes, I definitely do not forget our moderator, our flower among the thorns, Mrs. Karen George Abraham, who's from Pusat Maklumat Science and Technology, Malaysia, MASTIC, Kementerian Science, Technology and Innovation. A photo opportunity with Yang Berhormat. Thank you. Another round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for YB Datuk Muhammad Niza bin Datuk Sri Muhammad Najib, who's come to visit us at KIS 2025, as well as the Pahang booth upstairs on the 5th floor. Thank you very much, Datuk. Thank you. Thank you very much to the panelists, as well as our moderator for this session. It's come to an end. We have the next session coming up. It will be after, it will start at 2 p.m. So we'd like to invite everyone back here again at 2 for this sesi. Inovasi Sosial dan Kelestarian, Level Up Pelancongan, No Cap. This is happening at 2 p.m. with Professor Madya T.S. Dr. Haslinda Musa, Pensyarah Universiti Teknikal Malaysia Melaka, UTEM. Ini akan berlangsung pada pukul 2 p.m. While Datuk visits our Buy for Impact local products here at a hall. We also have the state exhibition on the 5th floor. We'd like to invite everyone to go up to the 5th floor to take a look at all the states in Malaysia. Sabah Sarawak, which is displaying their products and services on the 5th floor. And over on 3rd floor, we've got Collaborate, Pemadanan Perniagaan, Make Technopreneurs Great Again. That's happening on the 3rd floor. And now we have most of our seminars here in this hall. And Innovation Social, Buy for Impact, International Connection, Ideation to Impact here happening at Aras G for Connect.